I'd like to call this meeting to order. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Elick?
Here.
Ms. Karstafen?
Here.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Here.
And Mrs. Seguin?
Here.
Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oops. Welcome to the February 5th, 2020 board meeting. I'd like to introduce our group up here. To my right is board member Jim Bax. To his right is board member Elaine Sequin. I am Greg Elick. To my left is board member and vice president Annie Karstafen. To her left is our senior board member Mike Gebhardt. To his left is our superintendent Ann Slosh. And to her left is our award-winning treasurer Joy Clickinger. Again. Right. Again.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So, moving along on the agenda, presentations. In accordance with Ohio Revised Code 3313-48B, we'd like to officially have a public hearing for the upcoming adoption of the calendar for the 2021 year. And we would like to actually adopt it on March 18th. So we have it for public record. Madam Superintendent, any comments on that?
No, we were able to adjust it to accommodate the building project, and this is the one that the staff voted on.
Okay, great. So that will be, we will have the February 19th and then the March 4th meeting yet to hear from the public, and then we will go ahead and hope to adopt on March 18th. Okay, so we'll move along. Today we do not have any visitors signed up, and so nothing there. Let me see, board discussion items. Any discussion items from the board today? Mr. Bax?
No. Mr. President, I'm going to say no, not today.
Okay. Mr.
No,
Gebhardt?
not today.
Okay, moving along. The January 22nd, 2002 minutes have been posted. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Gebhardt. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Karstafen. Any comments or questions? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Seguin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Madam Treasurer, your action items this evening.
Thank you, Mr. President. My first one are donations. To acknowledge, express appreciation, and accept the donations as listed on the agenda. Item number 2 is to approve the attached list of purchase orders in order to comply with our purchasing procedures, and that is it.
Okay, those are the treasurer action items. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Karstafen. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second by Board Member Gebhardt. Questions and comments? Madam Treasurer, the purchase order that's on there is one item. Looks like the amount is the same, but is it on there because of how long it took, or
It's just a date issue.
a date issue?
Yeah, whenever
Okay.
the purchase order isn't out there before the invoice date, you'll get this.
Okay. But for the record, the purchase order and the invoice came in at the same amount, correct?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right, any other questions? Okay, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mrs. Seguin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Any other reports today, Madam Treasurer?
No.
Okay, nice light one. All right, Madam Superintendent, action items this evening?
Thank you, yes. First of all, to approve the emergency repairs to McKinley Elementary, and I think you're well-versed on that, the roof and the brick coming down. That's all fixed. Also, to approve the payment of the stipends as listed below. To approve additional stipends as listed below. To approve the out-of-state field trip for Eastern Heights Middle School 7th grade students. And that concludes my action items.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the superintendent action items?
Move to approve.
I have a motion by Board Member Gebhardt, or excuse me, Board Member Bax. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Board Member Karstoffen. I do have a question. So, but I see Brian's not here today. So on the McKinley, we're going to be paying $22,000 approximately for these short-term fix?
We did, yes.
Okay.
Yes, unfortunately,
We did.
it was not something we could wait, knowing that with the new building project,
Okay.
that building will go unused soon, but,
So it's facade and roof both?
right, what they had to do is they had to re-wrap where the part came undone. There was a metal piece, and I'm not sure what that's called, but there was a metal piece that came down in the windstorm that one night, and because of that, some of the bricks came down with it. So what they did is made sure that was all secure again and re-wrapped it with the rubber roof.
Okay. And everybody is, everything is safe and secure and good. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Madam Superintendent, or Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye. Motion carries. Personnel action items this evening.
Yes, and at the end, I do have one new
Oh, good.
staff
Okay.
member here. First of all, to approve the retirement of the following certified administrative staff, to approve the appointment of the following certified staff. Two more substitutes, as you can see, too. That's great. To approve the athletic supplemental contracts for the following certified staff, both classified staff and non-employees. To approve the payment of up to 5 days for the employee's daily rate. That's Jackie Plantner, who is here a lot in the summer for the preschool program. To approve the retirement of the following security officer, Jay Lush, who retired from the police force. To approve the resignation of the following classified staff. To approve the unpaid leave of absence for the following classified staff member. To approve the appointment of the following classified staff. And then to approve the appointment of the following security officers. Those are the 5 new police officers in Elyria. And that concludes my personnel action items.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the personnel action items as recommended by the superintendent?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Karstoffen. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
A second by Board Member Sequin. Questions and comments? Jay Lush, is he one of the security officers with the whole group, or does he do something
He
else
used to be
besides
the head security officer, that the SRO is what they're commonly called, up at the high school. And I believe Officer Figula took that over at one point. Is he still there, Tim? Yeah. So Jay Lush retired. He was doing some game work for us and stuff in the past, but yeah, he's completely retired now.
Okay. So, but was he the SRO, or was he just on the list of all the other security officers?
He was just on the list right now because he stopped being the SRO part a year or two ago. Maybe 3 years, yeah.
Well, that's what I thought. So, every time a police officer retires, we have to approve him here, too? Have we always done that?
Yes,
We have?
yes,
Okay.
yes, because they sign off at, all of them sign something at the beginning, so when they retire, we have to take them off.
Okay. All right. Any other questions or comments? Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mrs. Segwin?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries.
If I could, President Elick, introduce Jeremiah Levia.
Oh, absolutely.
Levia. If I butchered it, I'm sorry, Jeremiah. But Jeremiah is a new intervention specialist at Franklin that's been here all year, but just recently finalized his certification. He's
Oh,
been working
wonderful.
in a substitute basis for us. So welcome aboard officially, Jeremiah.
Jay, welcome, welcome.
So that is it then. for my action, or
Okay.
personnel items. so.
Great, Jeremiah. Welcome to the Pioneer family. Glad to have
Yes.
you. Okay, moving along on the agenda. Is there a superintendent report this evening?
Just a real quick, just a reminder to all parents and people in the audience about our new school parent meeting tomorrow night at Northwood at 7 p.m. Also, we did want to just shout out to the wrestling team. They won the GCC again and are headed to tournaments this weekend. And the 1124X robotics team, the girls really represented well in Washington, D.C. They came in the top 10 overall as far as the final rankings, but also won the Inspire Award. And it was given to them by the director of that museum, so that was real special. And then also, a lot of tournaments coming up for winter sports, so please watch our athletic page.
Oh, great.
That is it.
Okay. Great, thank you, Madam Superintendent. Okay, moving along, Board of Education. First item on the Board of Education list is to approve the board member Elaine Sequin attending the OSBA new board member 101 training held in January in Warrensville Heights, including related expenses. And the second item on the Board of Education is to approve the second reading and the adoption of the organization chart. Do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Do I have a second?
A second.
And a second by Gebhardt, or first by Gebhardt, second by Bax. Any questions or comments?
Does she know she has to sing?
Do you know you have to sing?
Oh, yeah.
Solo.
I didn't tell you about that.
I have a question on that.
I'm still wondering, do I feel like I
Has the
can't vote
meeting
for
already
this
occurred,
meeting?
or?
Yes, it has.
Yes, it
Okay,
has.
so,
You
no,
can
she
just-
she already went.
Oh. Never mind, you don't have to sing, you've already
Yeah.
been.
Oh, no, I thought you meant like sing here, like, no,
So
I've
we're-
already
If you
been.
want.
Yeah,
You have
So
something?
You wouldn't
we're-
want to hear that.
we are approving that the schools pay for it. Correct? Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then, I just have a question regarding new board member training. When it has been a 2-year period, is it possible that it is open not just to new board members, but, maybe there's something new that happens that maybe other board members may need to be refreshed within that 2-year period?
I'm
or
assuming that
4-year?
OSBA doesn't care, so beyond that, it would be up to you guys to approve that.
Okay, yeah. Sounds good.
I'm all for sending Mr. Gebhardt to more
Yeah,
training.
more
if we
training.
can.
You
So
never went?
No.
See?
I think it,
It
well,
was good.
well, can we get a list of training for potentially the board members that would want to go, especially Mr. Gebhardt? We'll deal with that then. Okay, any other questions or comments with the board items? With none, Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mrs. Seguin?
Abstain, since it's for me.
And Mr. Elick?
You could have.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, let me see, I believe that's it. Yeah, I got my agenda out of order here, but one last thing on the agenda is I'd like to request an executive session for the purpose of discussing and preparing for negotiations with public employees and for the purpose of considering the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official with possible action to follow as authorized under Ohio Revised Code 121.22. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a motion by Board Member Karstoffen. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second by Board Member Sequin. Madam Treasurer, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mrs. Seguin?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Elick?
Aye, motion carries. Into executive session.